Everyone expected Stranger Things Season 5 to go out swinging. Explosions, heartbreak, shocking losses, the kind of chaos that defined the show for nearly a decade. But when Volume 2 dropped on December 25, something felt off. The story moved forward, big moments happened, and yet fans walked away asking the same question: was that really it? Episodes 5 through 7, Shock Jock, Escape from Commissats, and The Bridge, were supposed to raise the stakes. Instead, they delivered a quieter, slower middle stretch that divided the fanbase almost instantly. And while nothing was outright bad, the problem was what didn't happen. The gang is still fighting Vecna, still racing against time, still trying to save Hawkins. But the urgency that once made every episode feel dangerous just wasn't there. No major losses. No jaw-dropping turns. And for a final season, that absence spoke louder than any monster ever could. But the biggest reactions didn't come from the action, they came from the personal choices. Let's start with the breakup no one realized was a breakup. Nancy and Jonathan's relationship finally reaches its emotional crossroads, and the scene plays out in a way that feels tender, honest, and almost hopeful. They admit the things they've been hiding from each other. They talk like two people who still deeply care. Then Jonathan pulls out a ring, not to propose, but to do what he calls an unproposal. It's heartfelt, confusing, and oddly romantic. They kiss. They smile. And most viewers assumed that meant closure in the good sense. But later, the creators confirmed something that blindsided fans: that scene was, in fact, a breakup. No dramatic walk away. No tears. Just a quiet ending that left audiences stunned and frustrated. Online reactions exploded, with fans saying they only realized the relationship was over because they read an article about it. And to make things even clearer, Nancy shuts down any chance of getting back with Steve too, explaining that their futures simply don't align. Suddenly, one of the show's longest love triangles ended, with a whisper. And just when fans were processing that, the story shifted to something even more personal. Near the end of Volume 2, Will gathers his friends and family and finally says the words that have been building for years. He tells them he doesn't like girls. It's a gentle moment. Honest. Quiet. Emotional. And for Will, it's a long overdue release. But the placement of the scene caught many viewers off guard. By positioning Will's coming out moment at the very end of the volume, it unintentionally felt like a season-defining twist, almost as if it were meant to replace a larger plot climax. Some fans felt it deserved more space earlier in the story, woven naturally into the season instead of standing alone at the finish line. Still, for Noah Schnapp, the moment meant everything. He later shared that reading the script left him in tears, and that the cast's support during filming was something he'd never forget. It was real, meaningful, and deeply human, even if the timing sparked debate. But while emotions took center stage, the show quietly dropped one of its biggest sci-fi revelations yet. Digging through Dr. Brenner's old journals, Dustin uncovers a truth that completely reframes the mythology of Stranger Things. The Upside Down isn't just an alternate dimension. It's a wormhole, a bridge between our world and something far darker known as the Abyss. This changes everything. According to the revelation, Vecna's true goal isn't destruction for its own sake. He wants to merge worlds, using children as conduits to bring the Abyss into reality. It's a massive idea that raises the stakes beyond Hawkins, beyond Earth itself. And yet, the show presents it quietly, almost cautiously, leaving viewers intrigued but still waiting for the payoff. Which brings us to the biggest surprise of all. No one dies. For a show known for emotional gut punches, Volume 2 is remarkably restrained. Max wakes from her coma. Steve survives. Everyone survives. And while that's a relief on one level, it also left many fans feeling uneasy. This is the final season, shouldn't things hurt more by now? The Duffer Brothers addressed that directly, explaining that they were never trying to replicate shock-heavy shows where characters are eliminated purely for impact. Their focus, they say, is emotional truth, not devastation. This isn't a bloodbath. It's a farewell. And to be fair, there were moments that reminded fans why they fell in love with the show in the first place. Steve and Dustin finally make up after their tension earlier in the season, sharing a hug that feels earned and sincere. Karen Wheeler steps into an unexpectedly heroic role, taking down Demogorgons and saving the kids in a moment no one saw coming. And Lucas's quiet devotion to Max, caring for her weakened body, staying by her side, becomes a standout example of love done right. In fact, Lucas and Max emerge as the strongest relationship in the entire series, built not on drama, but on patience and loyalty. By the time Volume 2 ends, it becomes clear what this stretch was really about. Not shock. Not spectacle. But setting emotional ground before the final fall. Some fans wanted chaos. Others wanted closure. Volume 2 chose the second path, and whether that was the right call won't be fully clear until the final chapter arrives. The 2-hour series finale premieres January 31st. And according to the creators, it won't try to upset viewers, but it will surprise them. So now the question isn't who survives. It's whether Stranger Things will end with a bang, or with something much quieter, and much harder to forget.